He did what every young golfer is told to do: grind, chase the dream, try to earn your way in. But no matter how hard he pushed, the system barely noticed. No PGA Tour card, no Korn Ferry status, no big-time college pedigree on his resume. Just a homeschooled kid from Coyle, Oklahoma, trying to prove he belonged. Then, something strange happened. Tournaments started inviting him anyway. Brands started calling. Hundreds of thousands of people started watching him play golf every single week. Not because the PGA anointed him, but because YouTube did. Today, he's a professional golfer and YouTube creator with a fan base big enough to shake the system that once ignored him. Suddenly, the guy who started with nothing has more pull than players who've chased Monday qualifiers their entire careers. So, did he outsmart the PGA system? Or did he build something the PGA never saw coming? Let's find out. Micah Morris built a huge part of his YouTube channel around one bet. If he shows you the real road to pro golf, you'll care what happens next. That's why you don't just see fun course vlogs, you also see US Open qualifiers, mini tour events, and practice sessions, where it's obvious he's chasing more than just views. It feels less like a highlight reel and more like you're riding shotgun in someone's actual career. And that career didn't come out of nowhere. Micah came up through Kansas City, Kansas Community College, a junior college program where he wasn't just making up the numbers, he was winning and contending in Jayhawk Conference events before turning pro in 2019. On paper, he was supposed to follow the same brutal script as everyone else: junior golf, college, Q school, mini tours, maybe Korn Ferry, and if the stars align, a PGA Tour card. It's an expensive, crowded, and unforgiving grind. One bad week, and you're back in your car, wondering how long you can afford to keep chasing it. Micah's version was no different. He was a homeschooled kid from Coyle, Oklahoma, without a blue-chip D1 logo on his bag, driving to state opens and qualifiers, paying entry fees just to buy himself a chance. Most of those rounds lived and died on scoreboards nobody ever saw. He was doing everything the traditional way, and still flying under the radar. What finally changed, that wasn't a new swing coach or a breakthrough round. It was YouTube. Before his solo channel took off, he grew inside the ecosystem of YouTube Golf, appearing in videos with his cousin Garrett Clark on GM Golf, and later becoming part of Good Good Golf, one of the biggest content groups in the sport. Good Good's format was simple but powerful. Fast-paced matches, personalities, trick shots, and real golf. The channel blew up past 1 million subscribers, and Micah's role there was clear. He wasn't the loudest. He wasn't trying to be the funniest. He was just the guy who hit real shots under pressure. That's where a subtle shift started. While he was still grinding in real tournaments, millions of people were getting used to watching him play. The old system says, perform first, then you get an audience. YouTube flipped that. For Micah, the audience came while he was figuring things out. And that created a very different question. If you already have hundreds of thousands of people watching you compete on YouTube, how much do you really need the traditional ladder to validate you? In late 2022, Micah made a decision that looked insane to a lot of people watching from the outside. He left Good Good. On the 23rd of November 2022, he posted a video called "The Truth About Me and Good Good," explaining that he was stepping away from the group. He talked about having a different vision, wanting to focus more on professional golf and on building his own path. No drama, no public meltdowns, no attacks. Just a calm, measured exit. From a distance, it looked like walking away from security, money, guaranteed views, built-in clout. But if you zoom out, it was something else. Ownership. Owning his channel, owning his schedule, owning his story. The question was simple. Would people still care about Micah without the Good Good tag around him? The answer came pretty quickly. Post Good, Micah's solo channel didn't just survive, it grew. He now has well over 500,000 subscribers, and he's approaching 100 million total views by late 2025. That kind of reach does something the PGA system struggles with. It proves demand. And once you have demand, doors start opening. In July 2023, the Osprey Valley Open on PGA Tour Canada announced that Micah would be given a sponsor exemption into the field, specifically highlighting him as a social media golf star. It was his first PGA Tour sanctioned start, and he talked publicly about how much he learned from the experience. Then comes the Q at Myrtle Beach, a 16-player shootout where 8 YouTube creators, including Micah, compete against aspiring pros for a sponsor's exemption into the PGA Tour's Myrtle Beach Classic. It's literally a made-for-you-tube pathway into a PGA Tour event built on the idea that creators bring fans and attention with them. At the same time, he's become a face for modern golf brands. His recent signing with Titleist was in the headlines. In early 2023, TaylorMade had signed him and Grant Horvat as new additions to Team TaylorMade after their Good exit. So, while thousands of pros fight for status just to maybe get a TV window, Micah's reality looks different. He can upload any match, on any course, with any opponent, and he knows hundreds of thousands of people will watch. Now, it'd be easy to say, okay, cool, he's just a YouTuber. But that misses the point. His speed, mechanics, and ball striking are the kind of stuff we expect from high-level players, not just entertainers. His channel is full of episodes in his Road to Pro arc, playing US Open local qualifiers, mini-tour events, and high-pressure matches against established pros. And you can see the discipline in how he trains and how he talks about failures. After the Osprey Valley Open, he posted that some people might see it as a failure, but he saw it as a huge win and said he was incredibly thankful for the experience and got to learn a lot from it. The personality that comes through on camera, calm, positive, reflective, is the exact opposite of a clickbait drama YouTuber. He's not trying to blow up the PGA or tear down other players. He's just relentlessly documenting the grind. So what does outsmarting the PGA system really mean here? It's not about breaking rules or gaming qualifiers, it's about changing where the leverage sits. First, Micah turned visibility into currency. Instead of hoping a good week might earn him a mention on Golf Channel, he built permanent evidence that shows fans care: subscriber counts, view numbers, engagement. Second, he bypassed gatekeepers. He didn't need a Korn Ferry card to get people to watch him play pressure golf. The Q at Myrtle Beach literally created a scenario where YouTubers and aspiring pros fight for a PGA Tour exemption, because the attention those creators bring makes the event valuable. Third, he proved that influence isn't locked inside the traditional ladder anymore. Brands like TaylorMade, Titleist, and Bad Birdie don't work with him as a charity case. They do it because he moves product and shapes how young golfers think about the game. And he did all of this without ever needing to declare war on the PGA. If he earns his way into more PGA Tour events, he walks in with an audience already behind him. If he doesn't, he still has a career that most mini-tour players can only dream of. So, where does that leave Micah? And where does it leave the PGA system? He hasn't won a PGA Tour event. He hasn't locked up full status. On paper, there are still thousands of players ahead of him purely in terms of competitive results. But when you zoom out, his path exposes how outdated the old structure looks on its own. Because in the creator era, the question isn't just how low can you go, it's who actually wants to watch you play, and can you reach them directly? Micah Morris answered that question before the system did. He didn't wait for someone at the top of the ladder to stamp his career as valid. He built something the ladder can't control: attention, trust, and a direct connection with the people who watch him chase this dream. And that leaves golf with a problem it can't ignore forever. You can beat Micah on a Thursday leaderboard, but can you beat him on the home screen? Because if you can't, then maybe the real future of the game isn't owned by the PGA at all.